Hey guys, and welcome back to another PvP session video segment. Today we're going to be battling against my boy Ramon, aka El Shadow Ray, in two great and ultra elite battles. Excuse me for that burp there, but today I'm happy to showcase the Lugia in the Great League. This is something I've been really wanting to use in the Great League. I finally was able to acquire one in a trade just the other day, and I'm excited to test it out. And then alongside it, I have Ivysaur and Melmetal on the team. So let's get this battle started. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment if you guys enjoyed. And without further ado, we're about to go ahead and hop into this battle. So trying out Ivysaur just to see how well it does compared to Venusaur. So we're gonna see how that goes. So I'm gonna lead up with my Lugia. He actually leads with a Sceptile. Great matchup for me because I am a Lugia and I'm facing a down grass type. And he switches out. He goes out to his Raikou. I'm actually going to build up some energy for later, and then I switch out into my Ivysaur here. He actually does go for the charge move here. I didn't shield, but in the long run, I probably should have shielded there because considering that Raikou does get access to Shadow Ball, which I have to keep reminding myself that it does get access to that, I have to consider that possibility being a thing now. So, but luckily for me, he didn't have the Shadow Ball there, so I was able to take out his Raikou with some Razor Leaf, and now he has his Entei, which is going to be a bit troublesome, and I unfortunately had to stay in because I did switch my Lugia into Ivysaur there, so unfortunately he is going to take out my Ivysaur with Entei. DDB needed a charge move there, but it's all good. So now I'm going to go out to my Lugia, and as he has this Entei here, I'm going to go for the Sky Attack and see if he actually opts to go for a shield here, and you guys are going to see here, he actually does not shield because I guess he wasn't sure about Lugia's damage output. So plus we wasn't seeing a charge move coming out of Entei, so most likely he must have had the overheat there, but which is pretty gutsy there. But I mean, it does the most damage out of all of its fire moves there. Could have also been Iron Head as well too, but luckily that wasn't the case. I do take out his Entei, and then his last Pokemon, of course, here is the Sceptile here. So I'm just gonna shield because why not? Because at this point, Lugia and Melmetal is just gonna pretty much win it for me. Having Lugia being the flying type, and then having Melmetal as the steel type, I'll be able to wall the Sceptile for days. Given unless Sceptile does have the Earthquake, which it does and actually does end up getting access to. So just so you guys are aware of that. So I'm kind of surprised he wasn't able to get an Aerial Ace there. I guess he was saving trying to preserve for the next Pokemon, but unfortunately for him, didn't work out in his favor, and was able to take him out with the Sky Attack and get the victory there. So if you're able to get a Lugia in the Great League, it really does work, honestly. So now we're gonna go ahead and get into the second game, and this team is I'm gonna be using Tropius. But shout out to my boy Tail de Taurus for trading me this Tropius. Really appreciate that. And alongside Tropius, I'm going to be trying out Defense Form Deoxys. This is going to be the first time I'm actually going to be showcasing this Pokemon on this battle here. And then alongside them, I have Lucario, just for some backup there. So I'm going to lead off with Tropius. He leads off with his Raichu. So this is not the worst, but not the best battle for me. I mean, I am doing more damage to him with Razor Leaf. Razor Leaf is so good. Like, it's ridiculous here. So but here he switches out into his Moltres. Good move on his part. I opted to build some energy there, and here I'm gonna switch out to my Deoxys defense form because I didn't really have a better switch in for this Pokemon. So I was trying to get to the Rock Slide, but unfortunately he was able to get a charge move for what I did. So I decided to shield to see what it was, and it turned out to be Fire Blast. So I'm really happy I shielded that. And here I'm gonna go for the Rock Slide, and surprisingly he doesn't shield because I guess he was expecting the Psycho Boost, thinking he was able to survive, but he didn't realize that Deoxys defense form has access to Rock Slide. So I was lucky enough to be able to catch him there with that Rock Slide. So he definitely did not see that coming. And yes, guys, I did in fact buy that secondary move for defense for Deoxys because it's actually really good in PvP. I like it a lot, honestly. So now he goes into his Raichu. I don't shield this Wall Charge. I'll probably, now that I think about it, I probably should have. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'm running Counter instead of Zen because Counter is really good in general here. So here I go for the Psycho Boost, and he actually does end up shielding there, so really good for me. I was able to bait out the shield, and luckily for me, I do end up getting the Psycho Boost just as he was just about to get off his next Wild Charge there. So really good for me. I was able to get that off here, and his last Pokemon turned out to be Azumarill here. So I'm gonna be able to get off one more Psycho Boost. I believe at this point he's out of shields, so I was able to. Oh no, never mind. He had one more shield life, but I was able to bait it out. So Now I'm going to go out to my Tropius and go for the Leaf Blade. Now that he's out of shields, Tropius is just going to straight up finish it off. Tropius is really good. It's an extremely good Pokemon in the Great League, in addition to Azumarill here. So here I shield because I was expecting potentially the Ice Beam, and it turns out that he actually does have the Ice Beam. So really good shield on my end there, because otherwise that Ice Beam would have definitely one-shotted my Tropius, which Tropius, by the way, in case you guys are curious, is only exclusive to North and South Africa. But I ran into a local player who actually had a few for trade, because he went to events that had Tropius available to them at that time. So I was lucky enough to trade for that. So shout out to him again for that. So good game to Ramon on that second Great League battle. Now we're gonna go into some Ultra League. I'm gonna be using Gladius, Charizard, and Melmetal in this first team. So just trying out Gladius. Well, I shouldn't really say trying out. This is just another run to see how she does. And here, this time, my Ramon has the the match advantage. He's leading off with a Scizor. I have Latias. Bad matchup for me, so I'm gonna have to switch out into my Charizard here, which is gonna force him to switch out into his Feraligatr, which is gonna be really bad for me, because this Feraligatr is gonna have Waterfall, and Waterfall by itself, it's just gonna do a lot of damage. So here I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claw to see what he actually shields or not. He actually opts not to shield there. Really good move there. So here I don't know what I was thinking here. I should have just went for the Dragon Claw right away there, but I go for it now, and I believe here he shields to preserve HP. So yeah, he does shield, and he goes for the I believe he goes for Crunch here. I decided not to shield here because at this point Charizard did his job. Scizor was pretty much weak to the point where I could deal with it later. So he takes out my Charizard, which is fine. I'm gonna go out to my Latias here. So I got Latias here. In the long run, I probably should have went out to my Melmetal here, because he still does have that Scizor in the back. But what I decided to do here is I have to not to go for the Outrage here. I wanted to save him for if he does decide to bring in his Scizor, which is exactly what he opts to do here. So I'm going to go for the Outrage to possibly either bait a shield or to get some damage on it. And he actually does not shield, which I'm actually was surprised at the damage output it did. So here I decided I have to shield here, because it's going to be an exit. It's going to do a pretty considerable amount of damage, and it does come out consistently. So it's going to be really important to shield that. So I'm pretty much up 1-0 him, and I believe we at this point we both have one shield left. His last Pokemon is in fact going to be Machamp, which is going to be troublesome, because if this Machamp ends up taking out my Latias, then I'm going to be in trouble, because my Metal is going to be destroyed by Machamp being a Steel type. So I'm going to definitely bait out that last shield. So I have to hope that I can take out this Machamp before he takes out my Latias. Otherwise, I'm going to be in trouble. But at this point, I feel like I should be okay. So I'm going to shield here just so I can survive longer. And he's going to go, and he does have the Dynamic Punch, which is going to be going to definitely hard counter my Melmetal that I have in the back there. But luckily for me, I'm going to be able to take out his Machamp with Latias' Dragon Breath there. So really good battle there. Now for this last battle, I'm going to be going with my nice strong Ultra team. This team has been doing so well, honestly, for me in all the battles I've done. So really happy to it. And from the last battle, now my Cresselia does have Moonblast, and you guys are going to see Moonblast actually is far better than Aurora Beam. I don't know what I was thinking from the last battle I did, so the last time I used it before. So here we're going to start the last battle, and we both are going to lead with our Ultra Form Giratina. So it looks like I'm actually gonna bait a switch, and he actually goes out to his Latias here, which is, I'm actually surprised he actually opted to do that, but at the same time it's fine. I guess he wanted to preserve his Giratina for later, because I think he's probably aware of that I have Cresselia on this team. He's definitely quite familiar with this team here. So here I'm going to actually go ahead and switch my Giratina into my Cresselia now to preserve the energy with the Dragon Claw, so I can bait out some stuff later. So here I'm not going to shield, because I want you guys to see just how well Cresselia can take hits, because this is an outrage from Latias, and it actually did about only 40%. So Cresselia, definitely not to take lightly at all. Cresselia is actually really good, especially if not prepared. And here, he actually opts not to shield. Big mistake, because the Moonblast here is going to take out the Latias. I think it was because at the time it was cloudy, so it was boosted. So now he's going to bring back out his Giratina, and he's going to go for the charge move here. I actually do have to shield here, because it turns out that I was potentially expecting the Shadow Sting, and just right there, he actually did have the Shadow Sting here. So here I'm going to go for the Moonblast, and once again he does not shield this Moonblast, or does he? I don't remember. No, he definitely does not shield this. I'm kind of surprised he didn't shield that. He definitely should have expected the damage output from the last time I went for it. So Here I'm not gonna shield because at this point Cresselia did its job really well. I'm gonna save my shield for later on. So Cresselia's gonna finally go down after it did some significant damage here. And here I'm gonna go out to my Giratina and I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claw here. And I believe I bait a shield here or either or take him out here. And no, I do bait his shield, and at that point that was his last shield. And because of all the energy I saved up, I'm able to get off another Dragon Claw here, right as before he gets off of any more hits. And you guys can see just how strong Giratina is. And unfortunately for him, his last Pokemon is Machamp, which unfortunately is not going to be doing well at all against Giratina, being a ghost type of course. So I'm just going to be able to get off of Dragon Claws. He has no more shield at this point either, so that's pretty much a good game at this point. So we're going to be able to just finish him up with 2 more Dragon Claws after this. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and sit there and say good games to Ramon. If you guys want to battle me in some PvP and you got like our battle to get featured here, let me know. I'll be happy. I'll be more than happy to battle you guys. We just have to be ultra friends and stuff, and you know, we can get some battles in the due time for sure. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and we did have some connection problems throughout the battle, so you guys have probably seen throughout the whole battle, but hopefully it won't happen again next time. But thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit like button, subscribe you guys if you guys enjoy this content, and I'll catch you guys next time.